Perception is reality. Whether it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Overreacting, he did fine. They're saying overreacting, he did fine. If Donald Trump had that moment, that would be the headline from BuzzFeed down to every single liberal media outlet. This motherfucker tweeted Kofefe one time. Dark Brandon is live. We're going to move on to Dark Brandon, where he will be saying some really scary things. Biden is expected to speak at 8 p.m. Obviously, the White House is live, but that doesn't mean Dark Brandon is there yet. He is notoriously late. Unlike me, I serve the top of the hour ad break exactly on time. Okay? Right on time, right on cue at the top of the hour. There's a 3-minute ad break. If you want this uninterrupted Biden special, okay, then all you need to do is subscribe for $6 or for free with a Twitch Prime by connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, where you get 1 free Prime subscription a month. You can use it on your favorite broadcaster. Hopefully that's me. He was almost an hour late to his 3-minute speech this morning. Yeah, he's never on time. He's so fucking gross. Like, he is so notoriously late all the fucking time, dude. It's crazy. Mira Links, thank you for the 10 community gifted subs. Oh!
My fellow Americans.
Oh, he is on time. 3-minute ad break now. Twitch Primes are free.
Or the temperature in our politics. And to remember, while we may disagree, we are not enemies. We're neighbors. We're friends, co-workers, citizens, and most importantly, we're fellow Americans. We must stand together. Yesterday's shooting at Donald Trump's rally in Pennsylvania calls on all of us to take a step back, take stock of where we are.
It's not live,
How
it's
we go forward
pre-recorded.
from here. Thankfully, former Trump is not seriously injured. I spoke with him last night.
Former
I'm
Trump?
grateful. He's doing well, and Jill and I keep him and his family in our prayers. We also extend our deepest condolences to the family of the victims who was killed. Corey was a husband, a father, a volunteer firefighter, a hero, sheltering his family from those bullets. We should all hold his family and all those injured in our prayers. Earlier today, I spoke about an ongoing investigation. We do not know the motive of the shooter yet. We don't know his opinions or affiliations. We don't know whether he had help or support, or if he communicated with anyone else. Law enforcement professionals, as I speak, are investigating those questions. Tonight, I want to speak to what we do know. A former president was shot, an American citizen killed, while simply exercising his freedom to support the candidate of his choosing. We cannot go down this road in America. We've traveled it before throughout our history. Violence has never been the answer. Whether it's with members of Congress of both parties being targeted and shot, or a violent mob attacking the Capitol on January 6th,
it's not
a brutal
pre-recorded.
attack on the spouse of former Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, or information and intimidation on election officials, or the kidnapping plot against the sitting governor, or an attempted assassination on Donald Trump. There is no place in America for this kind of violence, or for any violence ever, period. No exceptions. We can't allow this violence to be normalized.
It is live. It's not pre-recorded.
The political record in this country has gotten very heated. It's time to cool it down. We all have a responsibility to do that. Yes, we have deeply felt strong disagreements. Stakes in this election are enormously high. I've said it many times that the choice in this election we make in this election is going to shape the future of America and the world for decades to come. I believe that with all my soul. I know that millions of my fellow Americans believe it as well, and some have a different view as to the direction our country should take. Disagreement is inevitable in American democracy. It's part of human nature. But politics must never be a literal battlefield, and God forbid, a killing field. I believe politics ought to be an arena for peaceful debate, to pursue justice, to make decisions guided by the Declaration of Independence and our Constitution. We stand for an America, not of extremism and fury, but of decency and grace. All of us now face a time of testing as the election approaches. The higher the stakes, the more fervent the passions become. This places an added burden on each of us to ensure that no matter how strong our convictions, we must never descend into violence. The Republican convention will start tomorrow. I have no doubt they'll criticize my record and offer their own vision for this country. It's a threat. I'll be traveling this week making the case for our record and vision, my vision of the country, our vision. I'll continue to speak out strongly for our democracy, stand up for our Constitution.
He's about to say, don't show up to work tomorrow.
To call for action at the ballot box, No violence on our streets. That's how democracy should work. We debate and disagree. We compare and contrast the character of the candidates, the records, the issues, the agenda, the vision for America. But in America, we resolve our differences at the battle box. That's how we do it, at the battle box, not with bullets.
At the battle box!
The power to change America should always rest in the hands of the people, not in the hands of a would-be assassin. You know, the path forward, repeating visions of the campaign should always be resolved peacefully, not through acts of violence. You know, we're blessed to live in the greatest country on earth, and I believe that with every soul, every power of my being. So tonight, I'm asking every American to recommit, to make America, think about it. What's made America so special? Here in America, everyone must be treated with dignity and respect, and hate must have no safe harbor. Here in America, we need to get out of our silos, where we only listen to those with whom we agree, where misinformation is rampant, where foreign actors fan the flames of our division to shape the outcomes consistent with their interests, not ours. Let's remember, here in America, while unity is the most elusive of goals right now, nothing is more important for us now than standing together. We can do this. You know, from the beginning, our founders understood the power of passion. So they created a democracy that gave reason and balance a chance to prevail over brute force. That's the American we must be. An American democracy where arguments are made in good faith. American democracy where the rule of law is respected. American democracy where decency, dignity, fair play aren't just quaint notions, but living, breathing realities. We owe that to those who come before us, to those who gave their lives for this country. We owe it to ourselves. We owe it to our children and our grandchildren. Look, let's never lose sight of who we are.
It's live, it's not a recording.
Let's
He
remember
wouldn't
we
flub
are
this
the
hard if it was a
United States of
pre-recorded one.
America. There is nothing capacity when we do it together. God bless you all, and may God protect our troops.
Bro said, oh my God, he said battle. He said battle box.
He smirked like he nailed that too.
Yeah, okay, so here's the thing.
And that's the only thing people are going to remember from that is battle box.
Of course. And he also said former Trump. So previous reporting on the fact that this was pre-recorded was untrue. Immediately, people retracted that statement. It was clearly not pre-recorded. If it was pre-recorded, they would not have allowed this to air. They would have recorded it again. Perhaps it should have been pre-recorded instead of been live, because holy shit, that was a disaster. Okay? He cannot sit through a fucking teleprompter read that is approximately, 3 minutes long? That was literally a 3-minute teleprompter. So that's insane. That's actually insane. Here's the thing. Before people say, oh my God, like I can see the teleprompter behind his head, they actually did not arrange, his team fucked him up. They did not arrange the teleprompter appropriately. Normally, you're supposed to line it up with the eyesight of the speaker. I know this because I did this professionally at the Young Turks. If you don't line it up directly with the eyesight of the speaker, because it's supposed to like sit in front of the camera box, usually, okay? And it rolls down, and there's another person controlling the teleprompter with the same speed that the speaker is speaking, okay? This requires a little bit of skill. It requires a little bit of expertise. It requires good timing. If it goes too fast and the person who is reading the teleprompter is not very good at reading the teleprompter because maybe their fucking brain is leaking out of their goddamn ear, well, you know, you fucked up. So it's normal for them to use a teleprompter. All of those like direct addresses from the White House actually, all of those direct addresses from the White House actually use a teleprompter. That's perfectly normal. Problem is, in this situation, you know, he just could not even read the fucking prompter well enough.
Reading a prompter, I read a prompter for prize shows, and I can tell you I'm really bad at it. And I'm about 56 years younger than Biden. It's difficult, but I'm also not the president of the United States either. So if he can't do that, know what we're doing, really, to be honest, I really don't. I truly don't. And I can't really stay quiet anymore. I can't really stay quiet. I don't know what the fuck we're doing. This is literally our messaging.
He called me this morning in a state of panic. He's like, what is going on right now? The Democratic Party is a fucking clown show, and he's the Democratic Party's most loyal soldier.
Look, you literally have your voice of your party trying to articulate your agenda, and every time that voice speaks, people aren't listening to the agenda. They're listening to what is the next word he's going to flub, and then that becomes the headline. It is impossible to campaign and articulate and spread a message, and you cannot have your surrogates do it for you. You cannot have your surrogates do it for you. When people don't care about your surrogates, your vice president, Barack Obama, you are at the top of the fucking ticket. And if you can't articulate the message, perception is reality. Whether it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Overreacting, he did fine. They're saying overreacting, he did fine. If Donald Trump had that moment, that would be the headline from BuzzFeed down to every single liberal media outlet. This motherfucker tweeted crime, and that drove the news cycle for a week. Okay? Look, that drove the news cycle for a week. I bet my soul no headline on mainstream media will say battle box. Yeah, you want to know why they won't say that? Because Donald Trump was victim to an attempted assassination. So yes, it's old news that Brandon is flubbing. But for those who are watching to listen to Joe Biden, Austin is absolutely correct. They're not watching to hear what kind of unifying message he puts out. His supporters are watching to see if he is going to be coherent because they love him and they want him to pull through. And his detractors, the people who criticize him, are watching specifically to hear him fucking flub. And he still kept flubbing. That's a normal stutter flub. Oh my God, dude. Oh my God. That is a fucking teleprompter he's reading, dumbass. He's not having a normal fucking conversation.
And this also doesn't happen. This happens all the fucking time.
Like, I can't believe.
If it was once in a while, it would be fine. Every speech, it happens.
I can't believe he's still going with a stutter.
And the thing is, the Democratic Party has a real fucking problem because they're losing people like me. And I'm fucking, even my mom is 60, in her 60s, so is my dad, and they're losing those Democrats. In terms of, yeah, they're still going to vote for him. I'm still going to vote for him. I'd vote for a fucking dead body over Donald Trump. I would vote for anything over Donald Trump. I'm still going to vote for him. Yes, but that's not the issue. When your base looks at it, okay, when you're this and you're losing the confidence of your base, that's not where elections are lost. They're won between party lines on independence and by slim margins.
You're talking to two people right now. One person who's not going to vote for Joe Biden no matter what. One person who's going to vote for Joe Biden no matter what. And both people are saying the exact same thing because we're not talking about ourselves. We're talking about the broader electorate. We're talking about people in the fucking margins. People who are like, I don't really care about what the fuck's going on. Okay? Those people are not going to vote for the cadaver. They've demonstrated that they're not going to vote for the fucking cadaver.
Yes.
Okay?
And people, Americans are, when will they understand that Americans are complacent? They are sided, complacent. They look at the economy. They don't care about anything else. So when you shake the fact that there's going to be some sort of fascism, first of all, most Americans don't even know what the fuck that means. And we are so complacent as a society. We don't think it could happen to us. We don't think it could happen to us. Nobody truly believes that it could happen to us. So that narrative, when you got Joe, who can't string a fucking few words together, they're going to take the guy that they remember all the fucking stimulus checks 3 or 4 years ago because everything looks better in the past and people are romanticizing COVID. They're going to vote for that guy. Because that's what they remember. They think positively of that guy because they're looking at this guy fuck up a teleprompter every week.
Now, that's also not entirely correct because there's one way, and the Democratic Party knows this, there's one way to remind people of how bad Donald Trump
Release
is.
another pandemic.
And how bad they felt under Donald Trump. And that is by having someone who is otherwise inoffensive and regularly competent, basically just above average in performance, step into the fray as the leader of the Democratic Party so that people can focus on Trump's insane rhetoric.
Thank you. We can't focus on his rhetoric. He's getting a fucking free pass because nobody Nobody can listen to what Joe Biden is saying. They don't care. They just want to see him fuck up his speech.
Who then is on his stepping? Dude, Kamala Harris is literally the vice president. What are you talking about? People act like she's just not there. People act like I've not brought her name up multiple times. It is such a quick fucking swap that it could happen so swiftly that you wouldn't even think about it for more than a fucking week. And the hilarity is like these people just like refuse to hear that. Okay. They act like people aren't saying that. They act like people aren't saying it's Kamala Harris. It's so fucking stupid. I don't understand.
And we talked about
Kamala is not worse than Biden. Kamala is, again, at least somewhat competent. Okay. It entirely depends on what she says, what she does, how this swap would potentially occur if it were to occur. And you guys are just simply operating on, no, she's not going to fucking win. Okay. The bar is low right now for Joe Biden. It's a 49-51 race currently. Okay.
In the national poll.
That means that anyone that can bring even 10 more voters, 20 more voters, 1,000 more voters in key districts would to secure the election. Okay. And Kamala Harris is marginally better than Joseph Robinette Biden. Currently, internal polling that the Democrats themselves are running shows that Kamala Harris is actually starting to beat Donald Trump in the fucking polls.
And you know what kills me is that the Democrats are celebrating that Joe Biden has a 51-49 lead in the national poll, a poll that the national poll, the popular vote, a Republican has not won in 20 fucking years. They haven't won the popular vote in like 20 years.
Democrats, because of college, because of the Electoral College,
yeah,
they have the 3 points, at least minimum 3 to 5 points in the national polls to be able to win the election.
Yes. And it's not and it's not, and if we look at the polls,
it's not 51-49 lead in the vote share, it's 51-49 lead in chances of winning. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. Well, whatever. Fuck it. I don't know what I'm saying.
It's still no, but it still doesn't matter because that is also pre-Donald Trump. We're not even talking about post-shooting of Donald Trump. And the fact that post-shooting of Donald Trump will be a little bit different because he just won a massive amount of sympathy.
It's so fucking frustrating. It's so fucking frustrating because it's like watching football and your quarterback has thrown 50 interceptions and a backup quarterback that is sitting on the bench that's perfectly capable and you won't win the game. It's like we're already down by 40. Who gives a shit? Just put them in. Who cares? It can't get worse.
And
it can't get worse.
No, but the thing is,
what I mean?
But the thing is, it's not even that. Like the situation is like if you were playing against the second team of like you're a Super Bowl winner, you are coming off the a potential like. Analysts are saying you are slated to wipe the floor with the second team that you're playing against. And you're still playing a close game for no fucking reason because of your quarterback.
Yeah, because no reason at all. No reason at all. Like, it's selfish. It's selfish. And I hate to say, and I'm going to say that people like me, women, are going to fucking suffer because this guy has too much pride to not drop out of the fucking race. And I'm a lifelong Democrat. I voted for all candidates that have been Democrat. Okay? We're going to fucking, our rights are going to be deprived of us because you won't drop out of the race and you're 81 years old and you may not even see the end of your second term. You're that goddamn old. Drop the fuck out and put Kamala in so we have a fucking chance.
Yeah. Also, beyond that, it is really damaging that the Axios reporting that came out saying that a senior House Democrat openly stated that they're resigning for a second. You know, they're readying themselves for a second Trump term. Joe Biden drove down all their ads frozen right now because they don't want to come across as like too incendiary in their rhetoric against Donald Trump. There's a fucking election going on. I don't give a fuck if Donald Trump got shot in the ear or if he got shot in the fucking eyeball. Okay, you're still running for election. What the fuck are you talking about? What you said yesterday about Donald Trump's rhetoric before he got shot at is still the same thing. It is still the fucking reality. Donald Trump is fundraising off of the fact that he got shot, and the Democrats are going, oh, we got to do a call for unity. You are trying to fucking lose. That's number one. Number two, the policies have not changed. It's not like Donald Trump. It's not like Donald Trump all of a sudden, now that he got fucking whizzed in the ear, is going to come out and be like, I actually want Medicare for all. I've decided that like every Mexican is not a rapist, actually. Every Mexican is great, and I want more immigration. Like, that's not what's going to happen, okay? So that doesn't change the narrative. That doesn't change the metrics of what it means for the Democrats to lose in the upcoming election. So if you're a fucking diehard Democrat, you should be looking at the worst political instincts being demonstrated by the campaign right now and going fucking crazy over it, okay? It's so stupid. Anyway, let's see what these dipshits are saying. They're probably going to be like, "Oh, the unification calls were so
it's
good."
It's been 26 hours since that assassination attempt, and still there is so much still to learn. Let's talk about the investigation that is ongoing. CNN's Whitney Wild joins us now with more on what authorities have uncovered so far and what they're still trying to learn. So, Whitney, where do things stand right now?
Well, Anderson, there were many questions to answer. I think notably the Secret Service has not come out to answer those questions. They have not taken questions. There was a press conference earlier today. Notably, the director was not at that press conference, although she had been at previous similar press conferences.
I saw this.
Big questions.
I saw this reporting as well. Trump was spiritual while shooting, says person who spoke to former president. A person who spoke to Trump in the last 12 hours said he was almost spiritual at the situation, and that's totally not normal for him. He thinks he was handed a gift from God. He can't believe it. The person said that Trump is telling his team that they need to do unity at the convention. The convention now becomes more about his courage and resilience, the person said. They want speakers to dial it down, not dial it up. That is actually exactly what the Republicans need to do in order to fucking win back those moderates and independent voters that desperately ran away. It is actually a brilliant political strategy from the Republican Party. And if the Democrats also go along with the unity calls, okay, then all of a sudden they've effectively completely neutralized the only argument they have beyond abortion as to why you should vote for the Democratic Party. Not for, like, obviously people in this community. I'm talking about motherfucking dudes living in the suburbs. I'm talking about the Connecticut suburbs where people live in McMansions, educated white voters that historically have voted for the Republican Party but didn't vote for the Republican Party last election because they think Trump spells chaos and disorder. Those guys are going to look at the situation and they want Donald Trump to be more moderate. They voted for him in 2020 because Donald Trump was more moderate, and in 2016, because Donald Trump presented himself as a moderate on a lot of issues, and he was an outsider, and that's why they willingly voted for him. They recognized he was not that person that he claimed to be and was too chaotic and too crazy, and abortion went away as a consequence of that. But now Republicans are going to be fucking against that narrative so aggressively with this move. And if the Democrats don't show that the Republican rhetoric is actually what is divisive and actually what is violent through campaign ads, and showcase that, like, Trump's change of pace here is ultimately meaningless because what it spells for the country is genuinely damaging for our federal agencies and everything else, then, you know, it's done. It's a done deal. Look, every dumbass in the chat, including Neek Skit, my favorite dumbass in the chat, goes, isn't it a good thing that Trump is more moderate? Maybe this horrible event is bringing our country together. Yeah, dude, I'm going to jiggle some keys later to fucking grab your attention, okay? These are easily tricked adults. And unfortunately for many of us, there are so many of these fucking dudes in the country, okay? So many dudes in the country that are going to go, oh, maybe he did a beautiful story. Everybody loves a beautiful story. This guy got shot at. He had a spiritual
I started to cry reading that.
Yeah, he got a spiritual, he reflected on his attitude.
I'll be completely honest. It's a real thought that I had in my head, but I'm conscious and aware of, like, the realities of politics now, but that's a real thought in my head. And when I have those real thoughts and feelings and emotions, I realize that most Americans don't have guardrails to protect themselves from believing in things when they see things. I mean, it's just, I don't know. We don't have any, if they don't change, if the change candidates, I think it's Jover. Big time. I feel so confident in that.
And it's so perfect because, like, this earlier this morning when the Democrats said, like, top Democrats that were interested in taking Biden out of the race are now reconsidering that. They feel like it's not the right moment. It's not the right opportunity because, you know, the unity message is what's more important. Top Democratic sources believe that Democrats who had thoughts about challenging President Biden are now standing down because of this fragile political moment. And to which I said, dropping out with a swift replacement would single-handedly change the narrative from Trump's martyrdom.
Yes, and I called you this morning to talk about this.
And it's fucking crazy that they're just like, no, we're not going to do it.
It wouldn't be good to have happen right now, but Republican National Convention, swap out the candidates. It would change the cycle. The Republicans would have no choice but to attack them. Then we would sort of normalize the election cycle again.
What do you mean unity? Like, that's the question I want to ask people. What do you mean unity? Unity under what exactly? Does that mean we're gonna do like a Biden Vice President Trump ticket? Like, is that what this is? Like, what do you mean unity?
You can't compromise on the rights of people, right? There's no half legal gay marriage.
Well, that's the fucking Democratic Party because they constantly.
What I'm trying to say is like that, but you can't do that. You like everybody's like, we need to meet in the middle. We need to meet in the middle. What? Meet in the middle on my fucking rights, you son of a bitch? I can't get married?
No, we need unity.
I can get half married? Oh, women can control half their bodies? There's no compromising on these issues. There's no middle ground issue.
No, you don't understand. Unity means like instead of deporting, instead of putting concentration camps, building and like doing door knocking operations in every fucking Hispanic community in an effort to deport 20 million migrants, we do that to 10 million.
Well,
that's unity. Unity between a knife and my back, okay? You want to put it all the way in. I say half measures is fine. Put it halfway in.
Yeah. There's no compromising on the rights of people. There's just not. There's no compromising, and there's no ground. It's either you give them rights or you deprive them. There's no middle ground, okay? So that's why it kills me when people come out and they're like, I'm a centrist and we should do both sides. No, motherfucker. There's no both sides of these arguments.
It's so stupid.
There's no both sides of these arguments.
All right, let's hear what they're doing now. They're still covering the fucking the shooting now.
There was a likelihood that this long-range threat may present itself. So why?
Also, the funniest part is that, by the way, thoughts and prayers are coming from the Democratic Party. Meanwhile, Republicans are literally like claiming that actually this guy who his former classmates are saying was a Republican, who is a registered voter for the Republican Party, that guy actually shot Donald Trump because of the Democrats and their incisive, violent rhetoric against Donald Trump.
Literally, dude, fucking 2 years ago, he stood in front of the Capitol and told them to march on it. And then they broke into the Capitol. Like, what do you mean?